Because when I went to school, I thought school was just, we just want to go learn, to look at the teacher teaching us, the board. And there were sports. I did quite a number of sports in school. I was an athlete, 100 meter sprinter, 200 meter sprinter. I was also, I played some rugby, and I've also played a little bit of cricket also. But I fell in love with soccer. I fell in love with soccer. Why do you think with our community that you hear a lot about players moving from their community to go out to get more opportunities, whereby places like your normal urban places that come in literally the air in the sporting field? Because I've been to nice Model C places, and people, you get scouts, they come in and scout players. What is it that we doing wrong within the community, that we're not having that kind of people come to say, hey, there's great players there, can we just send a couple of scouts to go and see the specific player and to say, because whatever happens at the, for instance, we we took some was in Durban, in Westville, we scouted him in Westville, and Westville doesn't be mentioned no more, but become a product of, for instance, of Tsutsonkungu United, because it's a professional team. That place doesn't get mentioned. What is it that we're doing wrong, that we're not having players come up from this place here, this beautiful place? Why is it that we're not getting scouts? Because we've both seen, we've seen the amount of great talent that is in this place here in terms of soccer. We can talk over and over about it.
Look, my own view is that we need to be clear about the nature of community we want to develop, and then to be conscious about it. At least a critical number of older people should be conscious about the nature of community you want to create, you want to develop, you want to mature. I think we are still going through a period of change, a very deep change in our country. I was telling you recently about Tsutsonkungu was a colored community. And there are so many people today who think of Tsutsonkungu solely as a colored community, which means that the ideology, the thinking behind it is that we are here because of the color of our skins, something like that. Not about the nature of the place. What kind of life do we live? Do we share values? You know, even if you're a colored person, or you think of yourself as a colored person, is there something that you have in common with this other person? So you know, just across from here, there's a group that sits and boozes every day. So that is your community, because they are colored people and they love you. One way of thinking about it. But if we define ourselves differently, that look, we are a community of everyone who is living here, with whatever color you are. But then you share certain values. You know, we have that little practice ground down the bottom there near the parish church there. And Even with the soccer now, after a few years, we have under 10s, we have under 13s, we have under 17s, and we have a senior league. So there's 4 divisions.
Yeah.
And so a child can start playing at a very young age and grow almost naturally to the next level. And I was just observing this scene where there was at least 40, 45 of these kids. And some of them were as young as like 5 years old, because he's just tagging along with his elder brother who is 8 years old. And they play, but you know, a young child, he kicks the ball and he's got such a short attention span that his joy comes in kicking the ball, and then he just rolls over and starts to even forget until the ball comes his way. But then he's growing into the sport in a very natural way, going through the different stages of development in a most natural way. That is soccer. Can you imagine if young people growing up here till the age of 70, and then they go to all these places where there are other economic opportunities like that? If we can offer them here in this community, not only soccer, but other sporting activities. I was speaking to Shepherd the other day, and he likes martial arts. And you know, at the community hall there by the church, there's a hall that hardly works other than at a funeral or wedding. But if we start a boxing club, judo club, we are trying over here to start table tennis, darts, chess. But imagine in 5 years' time, if there are a range of sports on offer here. So a child growing up can join the soccer team, can join the boxing team, a girl can join the netball team. There's lots of choice. For me, that would be, if we like using these words like vision. If there's a vision that can really unite us into being a dynamic community, other than being a community defined by racial pigmentation, it would be that. That we are a community that shares a value that all young people growing up over here live an active life, because we offer them a range of sporting activities. But to arrive at that, then all of us, we all need to make a living, right? We have to work to make a living. But at least you, the older ones, you must sacrifice some of your time in the afternoon, in the weekends, to nurture, lead, organize these different sporting activities. I think for me that is a community worth living for, worth struggling for. I've got no doubt we'll arrive there, because the current nature of life is uninspiring, I'm sure. I mean, look, and I don't diminish the role of churches. Churches are very important in life, because they they also give a moral guide to life. So there are things that you do and things that you should not do. There's right and wrong behavior that comes from the churches. But remember, man is not only, or I should say woman too. Humankind is not only a spiritual being, also a biological being. It needs physical activity, it needs to interact with others. So I think, we have a lot of churches. In fact, I was counting that in Hluttankulu, we probably have about 110 homesteads, maybe a population of 350. And we've got 5 churches, which is like a church for every 80 people. But we only have one sports club, which is soccer.
Yes.